Hello, welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching the Junji Ito Collection, Episode 4. I think I've actually said the name differently every week. I think I started by saying Ito Junji, then went Junji Ito, then back to Ito Junji, then Junji Ito this week. I'm pretty positive last week I said Ito Junji. Either way, last week we got an episode dealing with basically kind of like fortune telling, but also maybe a curse if you go by what actually happens. So it's basically students from this high school. They're going to a crossroad section and waiting for what's known as the oh god, what do they call this guy? One second. What is this called? Crossroads Pretty Boy. That was it. I actually thought it was a female the first time I saw it, or saw him, because his lips were like bright red, like he was wearing lipstick. But they wait at a crossroads until this person walks by them, and then they ask them to tell their fortune for certain things. Mostly they would ask about their love life, whether the person they like is going to like them back, stuff like that. And for the most part, no. That's usually his answer. No, it's not going to happen. Which then leads the person to go a little crazy because their love is not going to happen, and then they end up killing themselves. And the story follows three characters. I cannot remember their names. There's two female characters and a male character. The male character had just moved back to I guess it's a town. And his childhood friend was talking with him and told them about, I guess, somebody from their class had just died, killed themselves at the crossroad, and they were talking about that, her and her friend, and he looked really upset that they were talking about it, and just kind of walks off. You find out later why. Basically, he was walking down a road that had a crossroad on it, and this other lady stopped him and was asking for him to tell her fortune, that basically the guy she was seeing had gotten her pregnant, but he's got a wife, and she was asking if he would leave his wife to be with her, and just being a kid just says no, like, get away from me, and he just goes off on his way. But he got a little nervous, like worried about what she was going to do, so he went back to the crossroad and found that she had killed herself. So he has like a hang up with people going to do that, especially since everybody that's been doing it has been seeing this crossroads pretty boy and has ended up killing themselves. because of that, I guess he and his childhood friend, were dating, but they never actually said that they were dating. But they're talking about it the entire time. Like, her and her friend are talking about them breaking up the entire episode, almost. Like, after the first time you see them walking home together. And I mean, he's like avoiding her at this point now because he doesn't think he deserves to be with her, since the person who killed herself when he was younger was her aunt. So yeah, he's afraid that if she finds out about it, she's going to hate him, and so he's trying to avoid her, because one, he really likes her but doesn't think he deserves to be with her because of that, and two, probably because he doesn't want to know what she's going to think of him if she finds out that he was the one that her aunt talked to the night she killed herself. Her friend goes to talk to him and ask what's going on, why are you avoiding her? And he says that he can't be with her. He doesn't give his reason why. Obviously, he's not going to tell her best friend why he can't be with her. But she goes on to the crossroad to ask if her friend and her boyfriend would get back together. That'd be the two of them. And the crossroad pretty boy looks at her and says, you should worry about your own love life. Walks off. Which then starts making her act strange, because she likes the same guy. And when she's telling her friend, she went to the crossroad, asked, and the guy said, that she needs to focus on her own love life. She tells her that she's actually in love with her ex-boyfriend, and her friend's ex-boyfriend, the main guy, and that she's going to go tell him how she feels and all this, and apologizes to her, and runs off to go tell him. But it doesn't go exactly how she thinks it's going to go, because he still has feelings for his friend. I don't know what she expected. Like, that he was just going to forget all about her and just go with her? It's not that easy. I mean, for some it is, but not for a lot of people. So she eventually kills herself after he tells her, I still like her, and I don't want to actually be with you. Not like that. I mean, he didn't mind still being her friend, but he didn't want to be in a romantic relationship with her. After telling her that, she cuts her throat with basically a box cutter. I don't know where all these people are getting box cutters, because all of them have cut their necks with box cutters. So he starts going around the crossroads after that, not looking for the crossroad pretty boy. He figures he's also looking for him, but he's also giving the people that are asking about their love life hope. Instead of saying, nope, it's not going to happen, he's saying, keep it up, it could happen, stuff like that. They never actually show him actually say anything. Like, you don't hear what he's saying. He's just talking to them as they're narrating it. And one night when he's on the crossroad, he sees the crossroad pretty boy walking by, and he starts going after him. Loses him, and then goes down an alley where he sees the woman who killed herself when he was younger, and she points him down another alley that he walks down, or basically runs down. And I can't remember her name, but his childhood friend was going there as well. She's looking for him, but she's standing at a crossroad where the crossroad pretty boy is about to come by, and he ends up finding her first. And when they meet up, the fog that is always there when this guy shows up, disappears, and so does he. That's where it ends. They didn't even tell you what happened afterward. Just that's where it ends. And the second part, which was really short, was maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Really gross. Mainly because I do not like slugs or snails. I believe it was called Slug Girl, where it's being narrated by this high school student, female, talking about how her friend has not been talking much lately, and when she does, it sounds kind of like she has something in her mouth, muffled almost. And it keeps going for a little bit until one day she just doesn't go to school. So she goes to her house to see how she's doing. You know, maybe she's sick or something. She goes to the house, finds her friend's parents stepping on slugs, you know, throwing salt on them and stepping on them. And the mom says, "Oh, you're here to see so-and-so. She's in her room. Come on, we'll go in and see her." They go in her room. She's wearing one of those masks and covering her mouth. I don't even think she's wearing a mask. I think she's just covering her mouth. But they go in. They're trying to talk to her, but she's not saying anything. She's actually trying to get them to, like, leave. But it's too late. She starts coughing, and that's when a huge slug, about, I don't know, that round, comes out of her mouth and is just, like, moving around. Hate it so much. And they show the parents putting salt in a bathtub, and they're like, all right, well, let's just put her in the salt, and hopefully this thing will die. So she goes in the salt, like, all the way down, all the way above her head. And I guess she was in there for a while because they, like, okay, where is she? She hasn't come up in a while. Let's, bring her up. And they start digging in the salt, and they can't find her. And then the dad, I believe, finds her head. He pulls it up, and it's just her head. But the mom notices that there's a little body attached to the back of it, so her body is shriveled up to, I don't know, maybe about that size. They didn't show it, but it's got to be super small. And they put the head down, and that's when the snail, or I guess now a slug, comes out of the mouth and just starts sliding away. And they let it live in their yard, in the garden. And the narrator, the friend, says that when people walk by, and they actually show this, when people walk by, the eyes will open up and look at you, like, really sad. Ugh. And that's where it ends. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do for this episode, because they just choose stories of his and animate them and put them in each episode. So I have no idea what to expect. If it's going to be scary, if it's going to be gross, if it's just going to be kind of suspenseful. So we're just going to have to find out. Am I going to get creeped out, grossed out, or am I just going to be on the edge of my seat wondering what's going to happen? Okay. So the video is going to be located over here. And the link to the episode is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.